these weak side style champions. He gets pressured quite a lot. We'll see if OMG continue with their playstyle running into game 1.
I actually think this is really massive. We talked about Hacker. Hacker has looked standout on the Lee Sin, and pretty average on anything outside of that. So LGD taking away that signature pick from him, I think is really going to slow down his progress in that early game and for setting up people like Curse.
It's funny because people that don't know OMG will think, but Peanut's the Lee Sin player. Has played it quite a bit, but has not been so successful on it. A couple of highlight plays for him himself as we go towards a first pick with the champion that we all know still open if Kramer wants to pick it up.
Yeah, and it has been the champion that he's played the most this split by far. He's 8 games on the Aphelios, so... And LGD do play for the late game team fighting around their bot lane, so I'd expect that. The thing that actually surprises me that LGD didn't ban out Zoe, which we know Icon has the 2 champions, right? He has LeBlanc, he has Zoe. Xiye has not played Zoe at all this year, and even this split, he's only played 1 game of LeBlanc, so 2 champions that Xiye doesn't really care about. And now you're going to get... Ooh, but that's actually surprising. Syndra. Yeah, Syndra was open, something that we missed. Obviously, really strong blind pick champion. Both of these mid laners love her. It's both... Okay, Xiye's most played, but Icon only having 1 less game than the Zoe. So really strong first rotation.
Yeah, I'll take it. Now I'm curious because normally we see support early jungle. Peanut will be on things like the Trundle, which is his most played. That is still available. Or carry. Yes, carry.
Yeah, I like this a lot, and it makes you wonder what they'll go towards in the mid lane, because you've already brought the Syndra out, right? They could have even gone for something like a Galio there, where you have the taunt, which sets up the Nidalee spear. That's been a combo we've seen quite a bit, where you have Nidalee plus Galio.
Sure.
Personally, not a big fan of it, but it has worked, and it at least can make sense. Instead, we see Langx going towards the Renekton. Luckily, the xiye is not on the other side of the rift today, so...
No. But Curse is a carry-style top laner, just to say the least.
Yeah, Curse has not played the Quinn this split, but it's definitely something in his wheelhouse. And I'd be really interested to see if SMLZ locks in this Ashe. He actually hasn't played it this split, but it goes quite well with their comp. Obviously setting up for a bunch of pick potential. I love it when you pair it with the Volibear, since, you know, it's always just great to put a bunch of engage around Volibear himself, since his only way of going in is pretty much just running forward.
Yep. We are experiencing lag.
Pretty common, actually, right?
Well, there we go.
Yep, so we see that. And OMG actually taking away that Galio, so they're not going to be able to look for that option. And for the side of OMG, I would like them just to pick support on for the fact that, hey, you can just keep that flex available for top side, which I guess you don't necessarily need to for the fact that LG have showed their top and jungle already, but for Cold, not too many great options, because of course you would love the Thresh. It'd be a great takeaway from LGD. It'd be great paired with the Ashe, but you don't have that available. So maybe we just see something generic like a Nautilus. You could always go with the Bard as well. Obviously, that's a Sooning special.
Yep. Curious about the takeaways, though, because it's been a lot targeted towards xiye, and we just spent 5 minutes talking about how with Ornn taking on that in the jungle with a Volibear.
Yeah, and I like that you brought up xiye to start that point off with, because I really don't know what he's going to go towards, right? Syndra obviously doesn't really have that many bad matchups, if any at all. You could go for a skill matchup like the LeBlanc. You can go for something like the Echo if you have the confidence in playing that, but xiye, of course, hasn't played that at all this split yet.
Meanwhile, though, Gangplank locked in. Curse, one of the few GP players in the league. We know overseas in LCS and LEC, GP is being played. Here in the LPL, not as much.
Well, and I wish we got it more, because he actually doesn't really have that many bad lane matchups. I mean, he obviously does extremely well into the Renekton. It's so one-sided. GP has a really easy time in lane. You're setting up for your bot side already. You have a ton of CC coming out, making it hard for the Aphelios to play. So I'm glad that we're having teams kind of slowly gravitate towards this.
Let's get our final pick, though, for LGD. Mark is a player who's played many supports in the past. Leona and Nautilus is 2 most played.
He's one of those guys, right? You know it's always going to be a Leona or Nautilus coming out from him. We don't expect any crazy shenanigans. On the side of OMG, I kind of expect them to just potentially handshake and go for the Nautilus themselves. I wouldn't necessarily really like seeing the Braum here, even though it's fine into the Leona. You do have some engage in the Ashe, but some supplementary engage would be nice to see, whether you do go with something kind of riskier like the Bard or just the Nautilus.
I got baited in a little bit there, sorry.
No, yeah, no way. That would be...
I was like, where will it go? But there you go. Braum has really come back, hasn't he? In a strong way.
And just teams realizing, hey, he's extremely strong in team fights. Once again, he neutralizes these lanes in bot lane when so many of our supports do just blind pick Leona and Nautilus. It's such a free pick, but they're going to rely heavily on the Enchanted Crystal Arrow coming out from SMLZ this game.
I will also say Cold is playing Braum. That's ironic within itself, right? The player who's named after Chile is a Chile Knight, I should say, is playing a Chile champion.
I do want to say, though, going with that, he also is a player who's much more like protection-oriented, right? You expect things like the Taric, the Tom Kench, the Braum. I feel like in recent memory, this is what Cold's been all about as compared to like the Season 7 days where he was a lot more about like the Rakan.
It was the Rakan. It was also, there's moments of Tom Kench in there as well. The Lulu also came through, remember, when it was 2017 Spring and Summer playoffs. We moved into Ardent meta, and Cold and SMLZ were partnered together. They were a duo that I was getting pretty excited about when I was first starting watching the LPL.
Yeah, I mean, heck, I actually played against him at Rift Rival, the very first Rift Rivals.
You did too.
My team Machi played against them, and they were extremely strong. We had a lot of respect for Five. He was known as one of the best supports in the LPL at the time, and yeah, it's nice to see that the duo was brought back, but obviously not really meshing the same way as before.
Yep.
Not even quite sure we can say meshing, right? Just even individually not performing at quite the same level.
Very different time. SMLZ's gone through, you know, the Sooning system as well, and now back to his old organization of OMG. We can talk about that more in game because I'm very curious about these compositions. I'll pick your brain as we run into game one. But for LGD, 4-3 is their standing right now, sitting at 9th. OMG, 3-4. Remember, they started off like 1-4, 0-4. They had a horrible start to the summer split, but now they're looking threatening to take away a win from LGD. Will be the big question as we run into our first series of the night. End of week 6, folks. We are on the warpath towards playoffs here in 2020 summer.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how LGD end up playing out this comp. Oh, OMG going for an invade. This makes sense. We've been seeing this a lot lately. Ashe having a pretty decent... Just going to get some...
Kramer be annoying, but of course he doesn't have any abilities at level 1. Now, Lyric, I want to talk to you a bit about LGD's comp because we talked heavily about influencing the bottom side, but there is a lot of solo lane pressure with Peanuts Nidalee as well.
Well, exactly. So the first thing that jumps out to me when I see LGD's comp is it has a bunch of snowballing lanes, is a very snowball-oriented jungler, and it's all around the top side, which is not what we expected for LGD. So they want to play especially around mid, in my opinion, which is going to be hard to set up. Pause is...
Orange first.
Both top laners just say hello.
Sorry, not Orange first. He's got Time Warp Tonic with Corrupting already burnt. That's a good trade.
I mean, this is just what we expect coming out from Curse as well. Especially being able to zone Long Xing off the wave at level 1, to where this is a matchup where typically as Renekton, you do just kind of want to back off, walk up to the wave, throw out a Q, and you could typically outpush GP even though he'll outtrade you at level 1 and 2.
I'd be curious as to how Peanut makes his way up then if you're talking about snowballing, and especially towards the top side. His bottom side start leads him to that direction, but also note he's got Conqueror here on the Nidalee. Been seeing a balance between Electrocute and this rune as well.
Obviously, Conqueror's a lot more about the dueling, right? It's about extended skirmishes as compared to... Ooh.
Early.
Yeah, as compared to the Electrocute, which is about quick trades. But there's just so many interesting things to talk about because even this matchup, right, it is something we know as more of a skill-oriented matchup.
Yeah.
Icon going with the Comet is something we don't see too much. We do see a lot of Syndras opt into the Electrocute against LeBlanc because the Comet isn't guaranteed poke, and coming out with the stronger trade with the Electrocute can be a lot more impactful in this matchup.
Still against the turret is xiye. Peanut going to be spotted out many times. Have we talked about the monetary value of Hawkshot from an Ashe? And that leads me to OMG Lyric because there was a lot of talk about wanting to see more GP in the LPL, seeing Curse influence the map here at 6, plus the pick potential from SMLZ, leads me to more questions.
Exactly, and I think for OMG's comp, actually, Hysterics, I think we might get some action, so we got to slow down because I see Hacker walking into the jungle right past Peanut.
It's kind of like a bear who doesn't care. Full health. We'll spot out the trap on the way back.
Okay, so we don't get much, but...
So tell me, you led me to a story, but
I
took me away from it.
So OMG, the thing that jumps out to me is, one, they have a lot of global pressure, so I feel like their comp comes online really strong at level 6, and we can obviously expect this big bot side play that can come out from them. GP Ultimate paired with SMLZ going for that Enchanted Crystal Arrow on bot, setting up either some picks or a dive on bot lane, and then especially the mid-game mark is really strong for them. One item on Icon, one item on SMLZ. The global from Curse can lead to like really big team fights around Dragon.
And then I look towards how mid's gone, right? With you talking about how influential the matchup could be is bit of a trade-off, nicely taken by OMG's bottom lane. Especially when Mark and Kramer started at first.
Well, it's great because we got double scuttle on both sides for the side of OMG. Of course, Hacker using his pressure on both top and mid, and then bot lane just naturally having pressure there. And the thing that's hard for LGD is we said, hey, you look at this top, so you look at Nidalee, Renekton, LeBlanc. These want to play through early game. These want to snowball.
Then it's like going to land onto SNLZ. You can see Peanuts on the way, but he's nowhere near yet.
This is Braum versus Leona. This is what's going to happen.
Oh,
but
no.
So going back to LGD's topside is they have these snowball laners, but they have a losing matchup in topside. They have a skill matchup in mid where Icon so far has been heavily winning out on trades. Like, even look at the CS deficit.
Ooh, Cream pretty massive. And again, Icon doesn't have enough mana to follow through with the trade, but xiye low once more without any more corrupting potion.
Remember, we said that we would have expected LGD to ban out LeBlanc and Zoe because these aren't two champions that xiye has really been playing much as of late. And I think we can see in this matchup why.
Peanut nearby as well, maybe just a shadow. You notice the CS discrepancy mid. I'm also looking bot. 5 CS in the advantage of SMLZ. And even though that top lane matchup for Curse means he's down in a bit of CS for now, 6 is on the way. And there's a bit of proxy farming going up in top side if you haven't noticed. Teleport being used by xiye. Well, Peanut and Mark were trying to bait in Icon, but he's walked out to the top side. Sweet scat of the week. xiye still gets a bit of damage up.
Man, overall, despite the fact that we have no kills, we've actually had a lot of like little isolated trades, both teams showing some proper aggression, but realistically, I don't know how LGD really have a way of attacking the map early on, unless they abuse some kind of like recall window from OMG where, hey, now xiye has a chance where we can start moving around the map and you can potentially set up a window to gank top or bot.
You need best jungler and Peanut in this game, right? Like game 1 all about how the jungler influences the map if it's so precious, as you put it.
Yeah, but at the same time, when your lane matchups aren't going quite well, it's extremely hard for you to find a way, you know, into an enemy lane or into the enemy jungle because you are Nidalee. You do want to look for the counter jungle.
Yeah.
And we look at the lane setups, right? Really hard for LeBlanc to set anything up herself because you are still dependent on a pretty hard-to-hit skill shot in your E. You have some setup in topside because you do have the point-click stun in W, so that is an avenue we can look at for LGD, especially with that's where the global is, so that's where you'd want to attack regardless. And we've seen bot lane is just... Bot lane's nothing, right? Braum, Leona.
Nothing, well said. Yeah, there's a BF sword on both bottom laners as well, but I like going with nothing while Peanut does finally head towards the top side. A ward put towards Krugs, which will be spotted out, but Curse can play this well. He's got Cannon Barrage, the wave gone, but Dominus means they want to commit forward. The Javelin Toss doesn't connect. Curse is healthy enough. Langx with one more hit would die. Peanut flashes as well. Curse doesn't care. Flushes into the jungler. Meanwhile, down to a turret. LGD, that was horrible. As Icon's coming towards the top side to make things right or just get more blood. Langx flashes into Scatter the Weak. Doesn't connect. But he'll be able to walk out as well underneath the turret. Safety in numbers with the minion wave. But Langx leaves it there after what was silly from the blue side.
Man, that was silly from both sides in the end. Like, I love Curse's aggression. Great job picking up that one kill. Feels like he would have been able to play it a bit slower and still pick up that kill as well as maybe killing xiye as well. Still overall, great play from Curse. Icon missing everything on what was a guaranteed kill.
xiye died to a turret.
Yes, he did. It was,
because the turret ramped up and he got one-shotters. Now Mark in the bottom lane. Hacker's decided it's his turn to die. Concussive blows, locks him down in Tentacle's arrow. Dodged by Peanut. Out with the Stormbringer for Hacker. He's got a bit of extra health for Peanut. Still on the chase. The Javelin Toss hits SMLZ in the backside. Mark with the Zenith Blade connects onto Hacker. It's a 3 versus 3, but with the exhaust onto Peanut. Will he follow up? Yes, he pounces. But on top of the lightning, Kramer doesn't care either. Goes forward. SMLZ with a dodge of the Javelin Toss while mid laners are fighting off in the distance. This LPL version is the best. As the scout from SMLZ gives Icon a bit of vision. Kramer in the brush will die as well. And suddenly Icon is a big Syndra.
And that was so clutch with a bit of luck from Hacker getting that shield at the very last second. So much action from both sides. We've already set up that LGD are relying on OMG to kind of give them windows. We saw one there, but great job by Icon, who's just naturally pretty much smashing xiye in the mid lane to find this opportunity to come down and pick up some more kills for himself.
He had Sork shoes. He's heading back to mid lane. This dude is massive. Yeah, missing absolutely nothing in terms of experience and gold. Those 2 kills, I'm curious, because we'll have an early first item. We also have an early gold lead for OMG at 1K at 8 minutes in the game.
And even when we look at like this game progressing forward in late game, LGD do have the Aphelios, which is always like the asterisks, right? But at the same time, I do just like OMG's team composition overall better.
But sir, it's Rift Herald time, and everyone wants to fight again. As Cold
Langx is not here, but Curse does not have Cannon Barrage up, so you'd feel like OMG do want to just kind of posture and buy a bit more time, maybe for like 20 seconds before that comes back up.
We've also talked in the past extensively about the setup needed for GP, even with just with barrels. Exactly.
GP's not the type of champion that really wants to run forward to attack people. You definitely want to kite the enemy team out. It's much easier to use barrels in that way, and obviously you have the Cannon Barrage for the slow as well.
He does have to set up with the barrels now as he gets the wave shot top. Rich Herald is going to go down. Peanut in preparation to go on in. It is secured by Hacker narrowly as OMG on the escape path. Dominus with a spin gets damage down the all-in as xiye has a low mana bar but manages to get SMLZ on the back line. Cannon Barrage comes on down, but LGD are running away while they trade off their mid laners live. Langx goes down in the back of the fray as well. OMG with another successful trade and the Herald.
And once again, I think Icon there hit a 3-man scatter of the week.
Yeah.
So coming in really clutch for his team when, despite you said he didn't really have much mana, allowed his teammates to deal a lot of that damage out. Curse having a really good ultimate. Hacker doing a good job on the Volibear. And SMLZ and Cole doing what they need to do.
Icon is just about 20 CS ahead. He denies that experience from the enemy mid laner and xiye. He's backing for the first time after picking up 3 kills. Watch the bar. There we go. Lost Chapter blasting one. A very good way to start while we're peeking at Kramer trying to get some gold back on his team in this top lane.
Yeah, and I mean, you touched on the items, right? Lost Chapter, Blasting Wand, Source Boots against the LeBlanc with Merc Treads and 2 Amplifying Tomes. So this is the type of matchup where LeBlanc needs to get ahead so you can kind of outpace Syndra, go force her into a side lane where she can't deal with you. But at this point, Icon's always going to be able to deal with xiye in the 1v1, and this is not what you would expect in a xiye versus Icon matchup. Nothing to do with champions, right? Icon has been heavily criticized this split. We said, hey, he can only really function well on 2 champions. xiye, I think, has been looking better overall, has had some poor games, but overall has been doing a lot of work for his team. So great to see this massive step up from Icon.
xiye is what makes part of this roster stacked, right? You got Peanut, you got Langx, 2 players that people should know well. Kramer, who once came from a Freak of Freaks. Mark from DMO, and then xiye, who was the world's 2017 representative for WE. This time it's OMG in the spotlight as Herald goes down mid lane. Hacker walks up with the rest of OMG, grouping as 4. Curse is even here. And LGD might have to pay the respect.
Yeah, Peanut kind of posturing like he wants to fight, but I don't think they really give an avenue. Curse, Langx
Solar Flare says go in, but Mark dies before the fight can start. Langx in for the flank, but versus 3, he's nothing. The GP, who was already fed with 2 kills, has 2 more. Curse is going to be standing out like Icon this game.
And this is exactly how OMG's comp wants to play. They want you to jump into them. This feels great. You have the Braum. You have a GP who can just set up his barrels, be prepared for that. Icon, once again, just pressing ultimate, bursting people out. And LGD are going to have a hard time. I mean, the Renekton now massively behind. LeBlanc super behind. Yeah. Peanuts behind. Just
their solo laners are screwed.
Yeah, that's
like you're versing a GP and a Syndra as a LeBlanc Renekton.
That was a really blunt way to put it.
Well,
and I like
it
that.
was very true. We got a Trinity Force on Curse after that last fight, by the way. When the dragon who drinks Warhorse energy drink goes down, you'll see big bounty, 4 kills. And you talked about the 1 items on these solo laners. Well, Icon might show us how. His ultimate is not at the ready. Icon needs 1 more hit. Peanut doesn't want to overdive again.
They just have no damage, Hysterics. They have no damage. Again, xiye still has not backed and bought anything other than what he's been sitting on for the past few minutes. But here we see OMG are the ones sitting in front of their turret. Langx in first. Bleak gets ulted down. We see just a lot of good damage coming out from both Curse and Hacker. Even Hacker at this point, early game bruiser on the Volibear does do a ton of base damage, so OMG.
Really
it's hard to imagine how they lose this game.
Yeah. A really good look for OMG.
Not the best look from SLC, who, surprisingly enough, he went for IE first, which isn't something we really see at all from Ashe, right? It's almost always the Blade of the Rune King. So SLC going for a much more scaling-oriented build.
When you consider how we didn't really talk much about scaling, but I guess at this point, OMG favored.
Well, and we touched on the fact that compositionally, I like what OMG has. Like, there's a formation there. The way it plays on 5v5s just feels much better. You have tools in how you can play out these games to where LGD, sure, you have the better scaling Aphelios, but your soul laners and jungler need to be ahead to have an impact. So scaling, I definitely favor for OMG.
Okay. At this point anyway, 2,500 gold up. So
Yeah. At this point,
scaling.
At this point, OMG definitely going to be able to get that Dragon Soul.
Well,
And it's an Infernal Soul.
Yeah.
So.
On a Syndra and a GP. That's a lot of burst. Kramer was the shining light of LGD this game, and he's just going to die. Cleanses away, but there's no way he survives. Under turret, Hacker's getting too tanky. A kill goes over to the bear, and another turret's going to drop as well.
You know the crazier thing to think is that OMG were not even the ones like ganking lanes or anything like that. Like, they didn't gank top. LGD went for the play on top.
Yep.
LGD failed to play on top. I guess Hacker kind of was posturing bot for, not a dive, but like invading Krugs. That ended up being countered. LGD were then the aggressors, and once again, they ended up losing out to Icon's Roam, and Icon just winning out mid in the pure 1v1. No jungle interaction at all.
The whole game as Mark's going to land out with the Soul Play, doesn't get the full connection. Scatter the weak, burst is 3. The burst finally comes through. Chan across the arrows layering down and hits Peanut. The Cannon Barrage almost kills him as Hacker is a hungry bear. On top of Peanut, it's a trade kill. LGD just can't find any reprieve.
Yeah, and now, I mean, this is going to be a free turret for OMG, and at this point in time, we're just waiting for that Herald to come up. All of the members of OMG can just turn towards the Herald, take that. By the time you get that, Dragon will be coming up, so you just reset, get back on the map, and take a Dragon. So, should be 2 easy objectives for the side of OMG.
Now, I know you talked about SMLZ before in terms of his quality of game, but he has landed some pretty crucial arrows. Before on Langx in the mid play fight, the arrow there on Peanut essentially got him killed.
Yeah, overall, he's done his job, and I like the fact that OMG put their focus on top side. They understand what they need to play around. The strange thing in this game is their draft was set out to play for bot, which is something a bit different for OMG this year, and just really benefiting off of LGD's over-aggression in that one bot play.
It's kind of nice because if it means we see Curse on something a bit more flexible, like GP as we've seen at Worlds for FPX squad, that's what Gimgoon played because it was such a safe top side or weak side top pick.
And that's the thing is, GP always comes back for Worlds, right? Every year. We always see GP back for Worlds, maybe other than Season 5 where, you know, we Darius, but we're not going to touch on that again. So I like that teams are slowly picking this up now to where the other regions have, you know, played GP like a decent amount all year long.
When we've been playing with global pressure in the form of Galio, right, it makes sense that GP's also in that mix.
And the thing that I just want to stress more than anything is the fact that he has such good matchups against a lot of the meta top laners, so it doesn't make a lot of sense not to play him when we're a very lane-focused region and you have a fine time. I guess you could say he gets easily dove, but as we saw this game, maybe not that easy.
At least if you have 6. It's all gone downhill for LGD, but for OMG, they continue rolling with it. Almost a 5k gold lead here at 17 minutes of the game. Lyric mentioned before that Infernal Soul is coming up. That's 15 seconds until the Dragon that leads towards that. While we almost have a 2-item GP. Pre-20 minutes. And Syndra very much on the same path here. Icon's level 11.
And for the side of LGD, they need to hope that like xiye finds a flank onto Icon, a spear hits Icon from Peanut, you take him out of the fight completely, and then even with those conditions, I'm still not sure they would win.
They don't seem to think so. Peanut's on the back end just throwing spears. Dragon goes down. And one more for OMG.
And this is when, for LGD, you have to ask yourselves a question. You need to search for some answers within your soul.
Where are they now?
Do we go the Rogue Warriors route of just continuously doing crazy plays that coin flip the game and hope one of them works? Or do we just wait for something like a Baron attempt, hope OMG throw there, and that's where you find out your win? I don't think there's a right or wrong answer because with the state of the game, like for LGD, there is no right answer, but I'm interested to see where they go with it. At this point, it looks like it's going to be the Baron route, but I'd love some Rogue Warriors type plays right now. Yeah.
You got to look towards something, right? At this point, when you're so far behind, but especially when you have a Renekton and a LeBlanc who have been behind the curve for pretty much the whole game, then you got to start questioning us. That was nice from Kramer. Okay. Good multitasking. Something that's very hard to do. I'm sure a lot of fans, though, will be happy that an Aphelios might lose the game. That's always something, but to be fair, Kramer this game has been the one trading objective. We saw him topside, we saw him bot as well, I believe, just trying to hit down turrets. So there's always the hope that you get a dream fight where everyone of LGD dies but Kramer.
And I love how aggressively OMG's topside, Cold and Hacker are allowed to play because We know that we have Cannon Barrage coming out from the GP. Icon was already pushing up the wave. You have the global from SMLZ to buy time if they do end up getting caught out.
Teleport from Icon if need be.
Exactly. So they understand the limits of their comp very well. And it's really strange to see OMG having like a better draft, having really good macro, like playing even better mechanically. Just across the board, they've outdone LGD this game.
It's weird because in spring it was like the opposite end. They got better as the split went on. Oh, sorry, they were better at the start of the split, and then they got worse as the split went on. This split, it feels like they're getting better as the split goes forward. As Icon onto Langx. He does have the ulti available, choose not to use it.
What you're saying is this split, OMG are an anime protagonist, and this is their training arc. This
is their training arc. As Kramer with the instant QSS, but it might not save him as the flush away from Cold while Mark is left in the win with the Cannon Barrage securing the pick. Mark has flashed himself, but he can't get over the Raptor wall. Curse picks it up. Ends up going on a rampage as well, and joining mid where the rest of OMG lie.
And this is what we've continuously nailed down about why we love these Ashe comps, is because they have abilities to continuously make plays. You throw in a GP as well, and you just have so much pressure roaming around the map.
xiye trying something, almost dies doing that though. All right, triple Graviton with Langx with a massive flank. This is how OMG can get cornered out onto SMLZ. The AoE from Langx, the damage is slow, and eventually they get the Ashe. Now onto Cold. Can xiye find as well with the solo lanes? Peanut falls back by Icon though, and Langx was close. A valiant effort as even Icon won't go down to xiye. OMG are way too far ahead.
They are. I mean, we saw Icon come in on the backside, get one kill, zone Peanut off. Then Hacker is just so tanky, he's allowed to help zone everyone off, give room for Curse to deal the damage needed.
Gauge onto Hacker from Mark, but be careful, Curse still here.
Like, think about it. There's no way this is the objective, like, best play for OMG to make in this moment, but they're just so far ahead it doesn't matter.
Even showing Hacker here versus Mark, he's not afraid. Solar Flare's going to land down, maybe he should be. With the 7th blade and Ignite, they'll take him down. And Curse for the setup with the barrels will hit Mark, but he can't follow through.
Maybe we should celebrate the fact that, you know, greedy plays can get punished, but
that's what LGD were waiting for.
This was so funny where we see him jump in. Does no damage. I mean, his second distortion doesn't even hit onto SMLZ, so makes sense. We see Langx come with the flank. The CC from Kramer was like really good to see. Cold with a really good stopwatch. So this is what I'm talking about with Icon coming in on the backside, getting one kill onto Kramer, zoning off Peanut, and you can't kill Hacker. Hacker's just too tanky. Langx doesn't actually do any damage, and it gives Curse enough time to come in and pick up some kills for himself as well.
If they had their second item, you know, if that second item, at least it was earlier in the game, then maybe the two solo laners of OMG go down, or rather SMLZ goes quicker, Cold joins. But it wasn't the case. We've got two items firmly on OMG's side, and another BF sword in Curse's back pocket after that play. OMG still up by 6,000 gold. They've got an Infernal Soul in 30 seconds, and at least LGD are out on the map. But you can see Curse has TP, Icon's still mid. The rest of OMG are building towards the Soul to take LGD down in game 1.
And it's OMG who just hard force this. You have no reason not to just push this wave, walk into Dragon, and force LGD to come into you because, again, they either need to find a miracle team fight or Peanut just needs to commit to a steal and accepts dying in the process.
But look at where LGD are. Curse trying to zone them out with a barrel that does so. Solar Flare in the backside. SMLZ safe for now, though. And Mark is in no man's land, while a triple Inferno Moonlight Vigil does nothing from Kramer. He's playing this one back while OMG have already got the pick now. Towards Dragon or Baron. Which way?
I feel like you still just go towards Dragon. There's no reason not to commit to getting Infernal Soul. It seems like they are very afraid of looking for a 50-50 smite against Peanut since, you know, since they are on the blue side, you can't just jump over the pit.
xiye got queued. Cold does take the damage. It puts the door the wrong way. As Curse forward once again, sets up the barrel chain. xiye over the wall, still doing quite little. Is this enough from LGD?
I mean, realistically, OMG don't really have engaged. They do have the Enchanted Crystal Arrow out, so you need to hope that can hit ideally onto Peanut.
The poke is doing something though. Langx ready in Dominus, but doesn't commit. Poke again from Peanut lands onto SMLZ.
Peanut's done great hitting these spears and like forcing OMG off. Are OMG really just going to give this one up?
I mean, they're backing away. Wow. Mark is here. Spotted on out is Curse. Dragon going down onto Mark. The rest of OMG are backed away. Hacker's going to get flashed on as well. And this Leona wants revenge. And against the turret, the Dragon will be denied.
Curse is dead.
All right. but he'll take one with him. What do you reckon?
No, he's just going to die.
We'll see.
Let's see.
He has Cannon Barrage. Do it. Oh, okay. All right. Against the turret. xiye's going to get this kill, which is kind of nice.
Oh, wow.
Takes an orange with him. And this is going to take a while, folks.
Hey, this is actually like a fine play for OMG in the sense that you've already committed to this mistake. Just buying all this time is fine. It just makes you wonder why they didn't go to Dragon to start with, because, you know, you can use the Cannon Barrage there, which gives you the slow, sets up for the Enchanted Crystal Arrow to come out. You then have Hacker jump in, as well as it sets up a Scatter of the Weak. And you think it's a much more open area for you to find a team fight, so you're not forced into an awkward position like under their tier 2 turret where you're like, well, we can't exactly dive them right now. I mean, I guess they could have. They do have Volibear. I don't think it would have been the best choice, but...
But hey, what do I take out of this is LGD got a win.
Yeah. We saw OMG get trigger shy at the last second with closing out the Dragon. Said, hey, we're going to just commit to mid. We're going to force him in an uncomfortable position. They did get a bit of turret damage down, which is nice, but obviously that should have been Soul for them.
So now we wait. We got 3 minutes 45, and you can see that OMG are like, all right, there's another objective up top side. Let's threaten Baron now.
And you are giving time for the Aphelios to get his items, which we've seen many times is never a good thing.
But who gets their items in response on OMG? Because still, I got to remember that Curse will be towards that third item. So will Icon, actually, which seems to be a Void Staff. So OMG is still firmly in control of this game, but they cannot be trigger shy, as we've seen with many LPL teams. That has been the death of them. Yeah,
and realistically, starting up this Baron would be so risky. And when they were so risk-averse with the Dragon, it doesn't seem like they're just going to suddenly change their mind and say, hey, let's go for this type of gamble on a Baron. I do expect us just kind of wait out this 3 minutes. Maybe each team's going to look for a pick, as we see right now, Peanut hovering for Langx, and you have ways on the opposite side of the map with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow to find a way to kill someone on LGD side.
Moving towards the Baron River. Well, you mentioned Kramer getting towards that third item. He's, again, been one of the firm members of LGD in this game. Also note that Peanut on the Rod of Ages turning into Lichbane. Nidalee is going to be doing some damage as well. Has actually been landing a lot of the spears.
And, right, that is the best time for you to do it is when they're just grouped up in front of Dragon and it's very, like, set in stone where they have the posture. It doesn't even really matter who you hit, as we saw. Someone hit Cold, someone hit Hacker, some nice ones would land on the SMLZ. You force them all low. They realize as a team, hey, we just have to back and give up the strike.
xiye doing something that we've seen LeBlanc players really succeed at. Finding those quick picks. Shift the balance as well, as over the wall we'll just be spotting out Cold and Icon.
And obviously that's kind of the nice thing about pairing the LeBlanc with the Nidalee as well, is even though it doesn't work out in lane the way you'd like to see, because it is just very hard to chain that CC into hitting spears, obviously a very strong poke duo, since LeBlanc can't just pop red into fights, throw out a Sigil of Malice, back off, wait for cooldowns, do it again.
Just watching GPCS down here. 1k crits on the barrel. Curse has an Infinity Edge now. And Langx just survives the lane long enough to pick up his CS and get out of there after being bullied away. OMG seeming very patient here. We talked about the setup, how it works towards the later game. OMG still set up nicely.
Yeah, I feel like we've talked about how both sides want to play out in front of neutral objectives pretty extensively. We know it's about Cannon Barrage into Enchanted Crystal Arrow, kind of coordinated pick from OMG. On the side of LGD, I think they just do what they did last time, right? Just posture, throw out a bunch of spears, have xiye poke his head in, get them quite low, have Langx pop the Dominus on a flank, threaten them.
Comes back to the original talk about Peanut's leadership here in this team. Okay. A minute till Infernal, though. That's what I'm waiting for. Is that was Aphelios. Kramer instant QSS once again. Curse with the barrel chain does not connect. But Kramer no longer has the cleanse, excuse me, as OMG are walking mid. And walking into the Aphelios at this point with 3 items, probably not the players. Poke's starting to come out.
Yep, Icon does have TP, so if any fight does break out, he's going to be able to get there, but still ideally wouldn't want to burn that spell and be put in a kind of awkward position if your team gets engaged on.
How quickly can he get back to lane? 25 seconds with LGD having set up in the river, but there you go, there's the damage. Good thing for Peanut, is that he can heal most of it up.
Also now you have no Enchanted Crystal Arrow for the Dragon fight. It does look like it'll be up in about 30 seconds-ish from where we were before.
xiye has to be careful where he stands. The one-shot potential from Icon means that LGD throw this good poke all away.
It looks like LGD is going to start the Dragon as Curse just pushes out mid. So they will at least lose some waves to the mid lane turret.
Keeping up the now. Poke misses again. Kramer and Mark on the back end. And this is a long wait.
OMG have no engage.
We're going somewhere, aren't we?
I don't know. I just see you nodding your head, waiting.
Just waiting for something. And good time to fight.
Hey,
we'll see.
Oh,
yep, that's what happens when Icon walks through. On top with the CC, xiye out of nowhere as well. Icon will survive for now though, and with the Cannon Barrage, lay it in. OMG had the right idea, but the damage was not enough. xiye walking away. SMLZ gets the arrow up again. Point blank into Kramer's face, and Curse crits him to hell.
I love how you like knew instinctively that LGD weren't going to be patient. They were just going to eventually jump in randomly. They did it. It doesn't work out. We see that OMG do still have way more damage. They do have 2 Infernals, and they still have a like 8K gold lead at this point. But one unfortunate thing I noticed was I think Icon actually ulted xiye's clone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that damage didn't actually burst anyone out. But,
okay.
I guess in the end it was inconsequential since the defining play was SMLZ just hitting the arrow on a point-blank Aphelios, yeah. And then GP just critting him, and it's like, well, that's Dragon.
One thing leads to another. And with the rest of LGD having to reset, Braum being started up, xiye comes over very fast with Langx now. Dominance in the back end, but OMG are turning for the fight. Curse the last one out of the pit while Peanut forced to flash by the rampaging OMG. SMLZ does not have the arrow. So taken away is Peanut, while OMG back away from Braum.
Yeah, this is the respect we were talking about with OMG, right? They're not going to go for these big gambles. Their comp is very ult-reliant, and none of their ults were up. We only had Scout of the Week and also the Volibear ult, so...
Oh, they've chased Peanut all the way to bot.
Yeah,
he's going to back in the brush. Curse is coming with a barrel. Not that one, but it's this one. 1 versus 1. Peanut would not win this if he was an actual Cougar. Cannon Barrage down. Now versus 3. I've seen GP do this. xiye over the wall, misses the chain. There is a shield on top of Kramer. Looking for the kill. He comes close. SMLZ shows an arrow to xiye, and Curse will go down.
Man, crit GP is so fun to watch.
As now SMLZ has to cleanse away. Cold comes in for the saving grace, but 2 versus 3. SMLZ's big enough. Takes down Mark, flushes into Kramer, and he will go down as well. As SMLZ now, with an alligator in front of him, will have to survive for not very much longer. It's a double over to Langx. And this game got hella messy while Hacker looks to push through mid.
And that was so worth. You're also winning out on both sides of the map. You just forced out Kramer's flash. You forced out Langx's flash. You forced out Langx's TP. You just got a plethora of summoner spells. Didn't really commit much. And you even ended up coming out about even in kills. Actually, you did come out exactly even in kills. It was a 3 for 3.
Oh, that was good. Just 32 minutes in.
This is the kind of game you watch LPL for.
Yeah. I said it before at the 5-10 minute mark. We got our true LPL version in this game 1.
Great to see. I definitely didn't expect it to be this close. I think we were talking before, and we both expected potentially 3 games, but
we did favor LGD. I think a lot of the team did, actually.
And this performance was so convincing from OMG. Again, even from draft. Yeah. I just love how OMG saw this. I love comps like this that are extremely proactive. You have so many tools, at least in the early laning phase. Sure, I guess we've consistently said the engage isn't there in team fights, but you at least have ways of moving around the map, finding a pick, and turning that into something else.
It's kind of funny because LGD, to get back into this game, have to get that pick, so they're the ones to engage. Then OMG are always on the back burner waiting.
The thing that's kind of funny to me is we've seen that OMG are really hesitant to commit to these objectives. So the fact that LGD didn't just kind of play out slower, sure, they respectfully should still lose out in these engagements, but at least take advantage of the human error aspect coming out from OMG.
This game's kind of been about for the most part, especially towards these later game fights. But now that we have Salt, we've got an Elder on the horizon. Note that OMG have control around this river. And that topside control wall is going to go down, so blind for LGD.
One thing that could just turn this game right is if we see that same indecisiveness and hesitance around Elder. Somehow we end up in a world where LGD pick up Elder, and realistically, against Infernal and their gold deficit, I would still expect them to lose out. But hey, Elder on an Aphelios, even though the damage coming out from Peanut and xiye's poke, could turn the tides of the game.
And when xiye has actually accumulated some items, despite being almost Flame Horizon by Icon, the threat of a LeBlanc means you have to look a different direction, while Kramer almost towards the death stance. So
just hearing you say xiye, Flame Horizon by Icon, was not a sentence I was expecting to hear today.
Xiye was expected to be the better mid laner by far. While Icon has played a really good game, one enchant across Aaron and Kramer. Instant QSS once again. Sorry, cleanse. Got to get used to that as through mid. Turret's going to go down, and OMG finally making a decision. But LGD poising to strike as Mark on the backline will launch a solar flare onto SMLZ, but lay it in with the concussive blows, and the ulti himself, Mark, will be the first to drop. The inhibitor exposed while OMG don't care. It's about the blood. Langx with a dominance walks away, and so will OMG after getting what they came for.
Yeah, and overall, just OMG getting inhib is massive for them. That's all they need.
But Icon still here, almost solo kill xiye. They're re-engaging. OMG have done the double fluff. Hacker will absorb a bit of damage here with the Sky Splitter. Peanut's still throwing out the poke. He wants SMLZ, but might settle for Hacker, who's the last one out.
That would actually be massive if you can get a pick onto Hacker with a minute up until Elder Drake. Will pretty much secure control, at least vision control of that objective.
Peanut landing spears is the start. He's still going forward. 55 seconds delaying the backs for Elder.
Ooh, and I was just going to point out that she's on this top side.
Okay.
Kind of strange because you're setting up. Oh, they're actually just going to make a Baron play themselves.
Here we go. Kelvor going to be forced out of Icon as well. And coming from base, Cold needs to make his way out now too. As it's going down pretty damn fast with Aphelios and xiye on supportive duty around the back of the pit. SMLZ chasing this, but we continue.
Yeah, right now I like that LGD are gambling because we set out, they do need to gamble.
Yep.
Just go for it. They're going to be forced off, and now we're going to be forced into this kind of uncomfortable Elder fight that LGD don't want to opt
This is
into.
a 50-minute game, isn't it? If Elder's going to be danced around for a little bit,
this is a 38-minute, 16-second game.
Okay. That's very specific.
Yes, it is.
2 minutes.
38, 16, and 4.5 milliseconds.
Okay, we'll see if we can get that extra bit of time for you. SMLZ hiding in the brush with Peanut trying to poke out. If this is the fight, OMG have the ability to start off the Elder and force LGD in. A steal would bring LGD a Game 1 potential win.
That's why we see OMG aren't just starting it, because realistically, LGD can even just opt to not fight and just go for the 50-50 steal, which, hey, you're going to lose regardless, so bringing your chances from like 10% to 50-50 sounds pretty good.
Oh, hell yeah, when you're in this position. xiye just needs to clear this vision and get out, but over the back of the wall, he'll be targeted down, and Hacker wants to follow up, but he's into the den of LGD. Cannon Barrage in the choke as well. Mark flushes away, but not out from the Braum ulti. And once again in the front line here, as Kramer has no cleanse, it'll be a 2-for-1 special for the Pirate. And Sparrow forward into the Cougar means that Peanut doesn't have long to live. He'll be poked down with the Infernal, but not enough damage to kill Curse. While Langx even here does a bit, while xiye trying to bring this game back into fruition. The poke's still massive. Langx survives longer than expected, but OMG get it once again.
Still, it is a 4 versus 2 right now. You have supers in the base. You should be able to go for the end here. Hacker is extremely tanky, so even if you end up tanking some turrets, it's not a massive deal. But no, instead wanting to go for the kind of assured play. But if Peanut can get back in time, once again, we keep setting up the possibility of a steal.
I was just surprised how xiye destroyed Curse, but then I remember he's got a double IE on his GP instead of any MR. So
I mean, that is the that's probably the best GP build you should go for in terms of like in terms of massive respect. Maybe 6 IEs gets you more respect, but it's not that good.
We'll watch this again. This is an elongated fight where OMG, I thought they were caught out.
Yeah, OMG were going in, which I didn't feel good for them. Their comp obviously doesn't have an easy time running in. They didn't commit a lot of ultimates. Very clutch ult coming out from SMLZ there, and then Curse wrapping around, just landing a ton of damage. We saw the Infernal proc coming off as well, and both of them pretty much just blowing up. And here's where we see Curse getting already extremely low, right? Got chunked down by Langx and set up for that kill from xiye.
xiye 3, 3, and 5 at least. Look, Elder doesn't go down. Baron hasn't gone down.
We have death cap on Icon, though.
Yep. Now, 36, what did you say? 36-16?
Oh.
I said 50-minute game, just telling you.
You, sir, good intuition.
Hey, I've seen how this game's gone. I've seen what xiye's doing over to SMLZ. Bit of poke down once again. And I know that both these teams will go towards 50 minutes. We'll see. Could be earlier.
if that happens, and we're here for 50 minutes, remember that you guys always can flame hysterics in chat. That option's always there.
Pretty sure that happens anyway. That's okay. All right. Baron spotted as OMG started with the Infernal Rift. It's going down quick, but look at where LGD are. Mark ready for the engage. Kramer joining as well at 2K. They might leave this one. The turn onto Mark available, but Baron is secured. Over to OMG. Langx running away. Hacker racing into Peanut. The Nidalee going to be spiked down and destroyed by Curse. And with the Baron buff and a numbers disadvantage, this is going to be big for OMG.
Yeah, I'd expect them to just go for the Elder right now because they did kill LGD's jungler, but they actually probably just going to go for the end.
Okay. Maybe it's a 40-minute game instead.
That actually surprises me. They've been so risk-averse this whole time.
And they want to take the riskier path. 35 seconds on Peanut, 4 versus 5. Kramer needs an Aphelios play.
Yes, he does, but...
Okay. Calibrum stacking out. Turrets still both alive. Solar Flare onto Icon in the backline. Kramer is stunned for a while. Curse threatening here. Kramer walking up as Langx dissuades with the Dominers. And OMG are going to back away because it's too risky.
And we're giving enough time for Peanut to come up. So once again, we get to dance in front of Elder Hysterics, making your dreams of 50 minutes possible.
I wouldn't say dreams, but I'd say reality is soon becoming.
Oh, okay. Well, we're starting it up.
Yep.
Peanut nowhere near. Now it's pretty much up to how much damage xiye can do to them by jumping over this wall.
Going to be delayed at all because going down pretty damn quick. And OMG just want to take it through. And LGD are like, nope. It's smarted, it's secured. Hacker on the chase onto Langx. Chain across the arrow misses, and Kramer just says okay. And that's it. Back pocket, they have an Elder, they have a Baron.
Do you think they will confidently and decisively push for the end?
I think these two buffs are good for jungle camp taking. So we'll see. We're going to get those final items. You know,
Are you OMG's coach?
I am fast becoming horrible by OMG.
I mean, I feel like you understand their playbook pretty well.
Well, from what I've seen this game, it's not really hard. You know, it's quite obvious as to OMG's mentality through how they end games.
Confirmed OMG hysterics?
Okay, well.
I mean, hey, if they win the game, that's all that matters. I mean, if they win the series. I guess winning a game doesn't necessarily
let's just get through game one before we talk about the series, all right? We're 41 minutes into a game that OMG felt like they won at 5 or 10 minutes.
I mean, now it's just doing this, push in mid lane, have Curse hover over, push in bot. Then it's just going to be about having the, not the confidence, but having the decisiveness to pull the trigger on going for the Enchanted Crystal play. Hopefully not on Mark, on, I'd say any other member of LGD is fine. Even if it's Langx or someone, I think doesn't really matter.
But here we go. This is what we wanted to see. OMG channeling through bot side with the next wave incoming. Curse did the same mid while the poke from SMLZ is still hard.
You even have the buffed up cannon, so you're going to slowly get these turrets regardless. LGD have to come into you.
First turret will go down as well. Icon speared out at half health. The poke so much when the Elders burst security there while Icon goes golden. Peanut flashes away while Hacker's in with the ulti. xiye, the same as Icon, only just survives to get the execution. It's a bit of a dive by OMG, but they still got SMLZ alive. While Kramer was the only hope for this fight to go well, and even he will be forced on back. Icon teleports back on in, and the Elder security helps OMG end this one in 42 minutes.
Well, guys, it only took us an